Hey everybody, I want to share with you a technique which I think sped up my progression more than anything else in the early stages. And basically, it's about how to get to your feet fast with power in the wing without falling off when you're on your knees in choppy water. Thanks to the people who taught me. You know who you are. Here's my take on the stankiest stink bug starts. Good sessions.
So here it is, my version of the stink bug start. The thing that's so advantageous about this is that as soon as you get to your knees, you've got power in the wing. And when you've got power in the wing right away, you've got much more stability because the board's moving. So I'm not going to talk through it in too much detail here because I'm going to do a step-by-step shortly. And then after that step-by-step, there's a bunch of other stink bug start examples in the video. And then right at the end, there's a really great tip that makes this even better for very narrow downwind boards. So just stay with the video. There's a lot of information in here that I found super helpful. So onto the step-by-step. First of all, get your chest on the board from the side and grab that front handle with your front hand. Next step is get your hips on the board and put your front hand on the downwind rail at the front of the board and get your back knee onto the board. This position is so stable you can just stay here for ages waiting out heavy chop or waiting for gusts with no effort. Next step is get your other hand, put it on the downwind rail of the board as well, and get ready to lift your hips up so you can get your other knee onto the board. Now you want to move through this step pretty fast because this is the least stable. But the cool thing is now that you're on both of your knees, all you need to do is lift that front hand up. The wind will immediately catch the wing. As it comes up, you grab the back handle with your other hand and you immediately got power in the wing and you're underway, you're moving, and with movement comes stability. However, you're always going to be more stable on your feet than on your knees. So use this momentum to get your front foot into the front strap and be ready to stand up. Now you'll notice that my back foot is kind of on its side and my knee in contact, and that just makes it really easy to kind of lever yourself up into a standing position from which you can pump and just ride away. So I've got another couple of launches to show you here, one again with the inflatable and the other one with the downwind board a bit later on, so stay with the video until then. I think the most important point with this type of launch is that you can get from the phase of being on your knees to being standing really fast because you've got power in the wing as soon as you pull it up on your knees. And that really just helps with stability so massively and helps you to deal with chop so well. Now, watch this part. Look at this launch. Who says that inflatables are hard to launch? Absolute nonsense. It's just that there's good shapes of inflatable and bad shapes of inflatable. And this gong shape is certainly a good one. Launch is super easy. So here we're on the Cruzader, so it's a much narrower downwind type board. And the refinement on this, which you can use on any type of board really, is look at my front foot. You see it's hooked over the rail? Now that really gives a lot of stability when the board wants to roll before you get some board speed. So I'd really use that refinement if you're on a very narrow board. And like I say, you know, you can use it on pretty much any board. What's interesting here is I'm on the same foil setup on a pretty similar day, but I can launch with a 5-meter wing because these boards just speed up so much easier than any regular shape board. Absolutely love this thing. It's so much fun. And then yeah, the last one here that I've got for you, which changes in a second, is looking at the launch from another vantage point, which really shows this foot hook thing. So you can see when I get my front foot on, the board kind of takes a little bit of swell and starts to really roll, but because I've got my back foot hooked over the rail, you see that? I can really control the board with that back foot. So it's super useful. Get to your feet. It's the most stable position you can be in because you've got the most amount of joints to balance with, so get to your feet as fast as possible, get that launch done and get off and riding. So yeah, I hope you guys have found this helpful. I really enjoy making these videos for you, so if you enjoy them too, then give us a like, give us a subscribe, drop me a few comments, tell me what you'd like to see next. Yeah, in the meantime, I hope you guys have an awesome time out on the sea and on the lakes or wherever you foil. Like I always say, if you're out there and you see somebody who's not got as much skill as you, and they can do with a bit of advice and a bit of help to help them along their foiling journey, then you know, make sure that you're the first guy to do it, because it's super cool to help other people progress as well, and everybody appreciates it more than you know, I'm sure. Anyway, guys, have a great time, and as ever, good sessions.